Hello and thank you for clicking on my channel. Welcome to the Real Movie Podcast. And today I want to talk about 3000 Years of London. The director of this movie is George Miller, which was weird for me because George Miller is mostly known for his Mad Max movies. The actors of 3000 Years of London, Idris Elba and Tilda Swinton, they are both famous. There is no need for introduction. So what happens in 3000 Years of London? This story is about an narratologist played by Tilda Swinton. She goes to Turkey for a conference. There she goes to a bazaar, and in that bazaar she buys a lamp which turns out to be a magic lamp with a jinn inside. The jinn is played by Idris Elba. He starts telling his life story to Alethea, who is the name of Tilda Swinton's character. Right off the bat, I should tell you that I did not like this movie. I want to make that clear, so you know what are you in for. Because first of all, I was under the impression that this movie was going to be a comedy. I don't know why they think like that. Maybe if you look at the trailer of this movie, you'll know what I mean. Because the trailer is so upbeat and so exciting, it shows that okay, we are in for a ride. I thought that Tilda Swinton is going to be that shy person with so many dreams and she couldn't reach any of them. And now that she has a jinn, she will make some good wishes, weird wishes, they end up bad. I was waiting for a classic. But instead, I saw a philosophical movie with messages and advices which were too much on the nose. And the movie itself, with the interesting premise, turned out to be extremely boring. When the jinn started telling the story of the previous owners of the lamp, I was like, okay, the movie will fast forward through these and will get to interesting parts. But no, that was like the whole movie. The jinn starts telling how he is 3000 years old. He was with Queen of Sheba, and then he was with another girl whose name was Zephyr, and now Alethea is his owner. Not owner, he's not a slave, but one who has the control over the lamp. And those stories, they were love stories, but it felt like that this movie is giving me straightforward advices and directions of how to think and how to live. And I did not like that. I did not enjoy it because they were too much on the nose. And the movie could be a lot more interesting because it had a fun premise, a good premise, but it did lean into some weird stuff that shouldn't have been leaned on. The other problem that I had with this movie was the actors. And by the actors, I mostly mean the chemistry between the actors. Idris Elba, I don't remember watching a bad movie from him and say, okay, this guy is not a good actor. But this movie was different. He was not really good in this movie because it felt like he didn't want to be there. I don't know why I felt like he was not satisfied with this project. He did not want to be there because I see so many movies of Idris Elba. He is in a lot of movies these days. And again, I want to give an example of Hobbs and Shaw. Even in that movie, he was more believable than this one. And trust me, although this movie has jinns in it, this movie is a lot more believable than that one. And the chemistry between Alethea and the jinn was extremely off. Because when the jinn was telling the story of Queen of Sheba and Zephyr, he was really interested and he was really into it. But with Alethea, he was not into it. He was like, okay, I want to break up with you, but because I'm a jinn, I'm kind of obliged to be here. It felt like he was really distant. And talking about Alethea, she did something that was weird. Because when the jinn came out, she was like, okay, my life is perfect. I don't have wishes. Tell me your story. And then when the jinn tells the story, she falls in love with the jinn and she wants to be loved the way that the jinn loved Zephyr and the Queen of Sheba. And after that moment, first of all, she became a superficial woman, and then the chemistry between them was really not working. And the final words, I have to say, the technology references and how the world is poisoning us with the Wi-Fi waves and stuff, satellites and everything, it's really boring. It's washed up. Too many people have talked about this, and George Miller came off like that grumpy old grandfather who wanted to give advices to his grandchildren, but he was too distant and too far to understand what it really is. They were too much on the nose and I didn't like them. Yeah, that's it. Thank you for listening to my voice. If you have anything to say, comment down below and let me know. As always, that's it. Thanks. Bye. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Yeah, that's it.